Have you ever looked at your feet and felt like they weren't truly yours anymore? You try to stretch your toes, but they feel stiff. You notice a color that wasn't there before. Maybe a strange tingle at night. Maybe a coldness that just won't go away. And people say, "Oh, it's nothing. It's just age." But what if they're wrong? What if your toes were quietly warning you that something far more dangerous is happening inside? That your life, your very survival, might be written in the lines, colors, and sensations of your feet. I know that sounds extreme, but listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal is something that's been hidden in plain sight for decades. You see, after the age of 60, the body becomes quieter. It doesn't scream when something is wrong. It whispers. And often, it whispers through your feet. Strange toenail changes, sudden swelling, coldness that lingers even in the heat, or worse, numbness that makes you feel disconnected from the ground you walk on. Doctors rarely mention it, because they're trained to look at the heart, the brain, the organs, but not the toes. Yet science now shows your feet can predict serious health issues years before they show up elsewhere. Diabetes, heart failure, kidney disease, blood clots, even deadly skin cancer. And when these signs go ignored, they don't just cost you comfort. They cost you your balance, your independence, your ability to walk, and sometimes your life. But here's the good news. If caught early, these silent signs can be reversed. They can be treated, and they can give you back control. So in this video, we're going to expose 6 deadly foot warning signs that most people over 60 miss. And if you recognize even just one, it could be your chance to stop a health disaster before it starts. So before we begin, tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what health topic you want us to cover next. We're choosing 100 lucky subscribers to receive a free copy of a best-selling book on natural healing. Just comment, why do you want the book? And what's the one thing you wish you knew sooner about your body? This is not just another foot care video. This is about decoding the signs your body is begging you to notice. Because your toes? It might just know the truth before anyone else. Warning sign 1. The dark CECRETs in your toenails. Your toenails. You probably don't look at them much. Not unless they hurt, break, or grow too long. But what if those little changes, the yellowing, thickening, streaking, were more than cosmetic flaws? What if they were your first clue that something is breaking down inside your body? Because here's the truth. Your toenails are windows to your internal health, and they can't lie. Let me tell you something few doctors ever say out loud. Your nails may rot on the outside, only because something is rotting on the inside. Start with yellow crumbly nails. Most people think, it's just fungus. Nothing serious. But in people over 60, chronic toenail fungus is often a sign of deeper problems. Poor circulation, weakened immune function, and most often, undiagnosed blood sugar imbalance. And here's the kicker. Seniors with long-term fungal toenails are at 40% higher risk for heart disease and diabetes complications. It's not just unpleasant, it's dangerous. Now let's talk about something even more serious. Have you ever seen a dark stripe or spot under one nail? Maybe black, maybe brown. If it came out of nowhere, and it's only on one nail, you should never wait. Because that could be the beginning of subungual melanoma, a rare but deadly skin cancer that hides beneath the nail. That's what happened to Helen. She saw a dark line under her left big toe, thought it was a bruise, ignored it for 3 months. By the time she saw a doctor, the cancer had already spread. She lost part of her foot. Not because she didn't care, but because no one told her a nail could carry a death sentence. Here's what to look for. Yellow, soft, and crumbly. Likely fungal, still serious. Thick, ridged, uneven, could mean circulation issues or even psoriasis. Dark streak, especially if growing, act immediately. Now, if you do have toenail fungus, the outside is only part of the battle. Because external fungus usually means there's internal fungal overgrowth in your gut, blood, and lymph system. So don't just treat the surface. Start from within. Natural antifungal foods and herbs, like grapefruit seed extract, olive leaf, garlic, and oregano oil, can help your body fight back. Topically, you can apply a blend of diluted grapefruit seed extract in coconut oil directly to the nails. It penetrates deeply without the harsh side effects of medications. But whatever you do, don't ignore nail changes. Because they don't just affect your feet, they reflect your future. The message may be silent, but the consequences never are. Warning sign 2, numbness and tingling. The silent nail VTOLAPC. Have you ever felt like your feet are there, but somehow they're not? You touch them, but the sensation is dull, almost hollow. Sometimes they tingle. Sometimes they burn. Sometimes it feels like ants are crawling just under the skin, even when nothing's there. And the worst part, you start getting used to it. Until one day you realize you didn't feel the hot water. You didn't notice the blister. You didn't know you were injured until it was too late. That's not aging. That's not just your nerves acting up. That's something far more dangerous. It's called peripheral neuropathy, and it's affecting 1 in 3 people over 60. You see, your feet are your foundation. But they're also a communication hub. Thousands of nerve endings are constantly talking to your brain, warning you, balancing you, guiding your steps. But with neuropathy, that communication fades. The nerves begin to shut down, first slowly, then suddenly. Let me tell you about Frank. He was in his late 60s. One day, while walking barefoot in his garage, he stepped on a thumbtack. Didn't feel a thing. Kept walking. By the next day, his foot was red and swollen. 2 days later, he was in the hospital with a bone infection. He almost lost his foot. And the only reason? He couldn't feel the warning signs. Now ask yourself, do your feet tingle or burn, especially at night? Do they feel numb in the morning? Have you ever discovered a cut or sore and had no idea how it got there? If you said yes to any of these, you may already be in the early stages of nerve damage. But you can take action, starting today. First, perform a quick home test. Take a pencil with a soft eraser. Gently run it across the bottom of your foot. Do you feel it evenly everywhere? If not, don't wait. Call your doctor. And if you're diabetic, ask for a monofilament test. It's simple, it's painless, and it could save your limbs. Second, wear soft, protective footwear indoors, even inside your home. Because if you step on something sharp and can't feel it, infection becomes a real threat. And here's something most people miss. Cold feet and neuropathy often go hand in hand. Not just from poor circulation, but because damaged nerves lose their ability to regulate temperature. That coldness you feel, it may not be from the room. It may be from inside your own body, shutting parts of itself down. Don't let silence fool you. When your nerves go quiet, it's not peace. It's a warning. Warning sign 3. Cold feet. When blood stops flowing. Have you ever had that moment? When your feet feel like they've been soaking in ice. Even though the room is warm. Even when you're wrapped in layers, it's easy to shrug it off. Oh, my circulation's just a little slow. But let me ask you something most people never consider. What if your cold feet were your heart's way of crying for help? You see, warm feet need one thing above all: steady, healthy blood flow. And when that flow is disrupted, even slightly, your toes are the first to notice. Why? Because they're farthest from the heart. And when circulation weakens, the blood doesn't always make it to the edges. Your toes, your heels, your ankles. They become the forgotten corners of your body. But cold feet aren't just uncomfortable. They're often a sign of underlying vascular problems. Blocked arteries, weakened heart function, or something called peripheral artery disease, PAD for short. PAD is dangerous. It narrows the arteries in your legs and feet. It silently chokes your blood supply. And by the time you feel the pain, tissue may already be dying. So how do you know if your circulation is failing you? Here's a simple home test. It's called the capillary refill test. Press down firmly on your toenail for 5 seconds. It will turn pale. Now let go. Count how long it takes for the color to return. If it's under 2 seconds, you're okay. If it takes 3 seconds or more, your blood is struggling. More than 5 seconds, that's a red flag. A big one. Now look at your feet. Do they turn bluish or purplish when you're cold? Have you noticed hair disappearing from your toes or shins? Do your feet feel numb and icy at the same time? These aren't cosmetic details. They're cries from your arteries. They're signs that your body is being starved of oxygen inch by inch. And without oxygen, cells die. Tissue breaks down, and gangrene steps in quickly, sometimes without a single cut or wound. So what can you do? First, get your blood moving. Walk for 10 minutes after each meal. Not just for your legs, for your heart, your lungs, your brain. Second, never sit with your legs crossed. It strangles blood vessels like a pinched hose. Third, elevate your feet when resting. Let gravity help your blood return to the heart. Try alternating warm and cool foot baths, 2 minutes in each. It wakes up sluggish capillaries and retrains your blood vessels. And if you smoke, please stop. Because every puff shrinks your arteries. And no herb or supplement can undo that damage while smoke is still in your lungs. One more clue most people miss. If you drink water, and it causes your feet to swell, that means the water isn't entering your cells. You're dehydrated at the cellular level, even if your ankles look bloated. Fix your circulation now. Because once the blood stops flowing freely, the damage moves faster than you think. Warning sign 4, swelling. When the body can't hold back the fluid. Let me ask you something simple. Do your shoes fit in the morning, but feel tight and suffocating by dinner? Have you ever pressed a finger into your ankle and watched the skin stay dented like memory foam? That's not normal. That's not just water weight. That's your body losing control. Swelling in the feet, ankles, or lower legs might look harmless. But underneath, something serious is brewing. It's called edema, and it means fluid is building up in places it shouldn't. Now, here's what most people don't realize. That fluid isn't random. It's there because your heart, kidneys, or veins are struggling. Sometimes it starts slow. A little puffiness by evening. A sense that your socks leave deeper marks than they used to. Other times it comes fast. With heaviness, tightness, and skin that feels like it's bursting from within. But here's the part that should stop you in your tracks. Swelling can be the first warning sign of congestive heart failure, or a blood clot, or chronic kidney overload. And when that fluid starts pressing on your nerves and tissues, you don't just lose comfort. You lose balance. You lose sensation. You lose your footing, literally. Seniors with regular swelling in their feet have a 30% higher risk of dangerous falls. Not because their legs give out, but because their feet lose responsiveness. You can't feel the floor under you. You misjudge steps. And the fall comes suddenly, without warning. Now, Ask yourself this. Do your feet or ankles look fine in the morning but balloon by night? When you press on the swollen area, does it leave a dent for longer than 30 seconds? Is one leg puffier than the other? If yes, that could mean a blood clot. Immediate danger. So what should you do? Start by lifting your feet. Elevate them above heart level, especially before bed. Gravity becomes your ally. Asterisk, asterisk, massage them gently. Asterisk, asterisk, always moving upward, toward your heart. It encourages lymph flow, which helps flush trapped fluid. Cut back on hidden salt. Processed foods, canned soups, even so-called healthy snacks are loaded with sodium. And sodium holds water like a sponge. If swelling gets worse, especially with shortness of breath, tight chest, or one-sided puffiness, go to the doctor without delay. Because swelling isn't always a surface issue. It's often a symptom of something deeper. Something your body is trying to keep down. Until it can't anymore. And remember, if your body can't circulate or eliminate fluid, it's like a dam cracking under pressure. Don't wait for the flood. Act while it's still a ripple. Warning SI Gen 5. Bunions and 2 deformities. When your toes start to turn against you, look down at your feet. Does your big toe lean sideways, creeping toward the others? Is there a hard bump at its base, swollen, red, or painful? Are your smaller toes curled under, clenched like claws? If so, your toes are no longer holding you up. They're starting to collapse beneath you. And that collapse doesn't just affect your feet. It echoes upward, into your knees, your hips, your spine, until the entire structure of your body begins to fail. Bunions and toe deformities aren't just cosmetic nuisances. They are structural alarms. They signal that your foot mechanics have broken down. And when the base breaks, everything above it suffers. Let me share a story that still gives me chills. Marge was 74, fiercely independent. She lived alone, drove herself to church, and gardened every weekend. But her toes had been curling for years. She brushed it off. She said, "They just look funny. I'm fine." Until one morning, walking to the bathroom barefoot, she lost her balance. Her twisted toes couldn't grip the tile. Her foot slid. She fell. Hard. A shattered hip. Emergency surgery. 3 months of rehab. And she never walked unassisted again. She didn't fall because she was weak. She fell because her feet couldn't hold her. And she's not alone. Seniors with major toe deformities are 25% more likely to die early. Not from their feet, but from the loss of movement, strength, and confidence that follows. Because once walking becomes painful, you walk less. You isolate. Muscles waste away, and the body begins to shrink, inside and out. So how do you know if this silent decline has already started? Ask yourself, can you move each toe freely, or do some feel locked in place? Does your big toe angle inward, toward its neighbor? Do you avoid walking barefoot out of fear or pain? If yes, then your balance is no longer secure. And it's only a matter of time before that shows up in a fall, or worse. But there's good news. You don't need surgery to begin reversing it. You need gentle, consistent correction. Start with toe spacers, soft silicone devices that gently realign the toes overnight. Use them for an hour at a time to start, then increase. Do daily toe mobility exercises. Pick up marbles with your toes. Scrunch a towel under your feet. Spread your toes wide and hold for 10 seconds. And most importantly, retire your tight, narrow shoes. Get shoes with wide toe boxes. Let your toes breathe. Let them move. Let them remember their job. Old, worn slippers, throw them out. They are slip hazards in disguise. And here's something most people have never tried. Castor oil compressors. Apply warm castor oil to bunions, wrap in cloth, rest for 30 minutes. Over time, it can soften the joint, reduce inflammation, and ease pain naturally. The earlier you start, the better your odds. Because toe deformities don't just steal your balance. They steal your freedom, one silent shift at a time. Warning sign 6. Weak foot muscles. The first step toward a fall, UWONTGT upper from. Let me ask you a question no doctor ever does. Can you stand on one foot for 10 seconds? It sounds simple. But for thousands of seniors each year, this one movement predicts something terrifying. If you can't do it, your risk of dying in the next 10 years is nearly doubled. Not because of the foot, but because of everything it represents. You see, your feet aren't just the bottom of your body. They're your connection to the world. They're your sensors, your brakes, your shock absorbers. And when the muscles inside them begin to weaken, balance fades, reflexes slow, and one misstep can change your life forever. Weak foot muscles don't make headlines. They don't cause dramatic pain. They whisper. They show up as tired legs, or feet that feel like wooden blocks by evening, or slight wobbliness on uneven ground. The kind of ground you used to walk on without thinking. That's what happened to Mr. Henderson. He was active. Still walked every morning. Still climbed stairs. But he started noticing a strange fatigue in his feet. His steps became shorter. He tripped twice in a week, but caught himself. The third time he didn't. He fell backward down the porch stairs. A broken wrist. A concussion. Months in rehab. All from feet that couldn't adjust fast enough. Here's how to tell if this hidden weakness has started creeping in. Do your feet feel sore after short distances? Do they feel numb or clumsy on uneven sidewalks? Can you still lift your big toe without moving the others? Can you spread all 5 toes apart, or do they barely respond? If even one of those feels off, it's time to act. Because once foot muscles weaken, they don't rebuild on their own. But here's the hopeful part. They can recover faster than you think. Start with these simple daily exercises. Towel scrunches. Place a towel flat on the floor. Use only your toes to pull it toward you. Marble pickups. Pick up marbles or small objects with your toes and drop them in a cup. Barefoot balance time. Walk 10 minutes daily on carpet or grass without shoes. It retrains your foot's natural stabilizers. And don't underestimate footwear. Overly cushioned comfort shoes rob your feet of feedback. They weaken muscles over time. Switch to thin-soled shoes, even part-time. Your feet will reawaken. Studies show foot strength can improve up to 60% in just 6 months with the right footwear and daily engagement. The truth is, it's not just your feet at stake. Weak feet lead to weak steps. Weak steps lead to falls. And one fall can be the beginning of the end. So don't wait for the floor to remind you. Reclaim your balance, 1 foot at a time. Your feet are due and you. Are you listening? You've just uncovered something most people will never hear in a doctor's office. That the truth about your health, your heart, your circulation, your balance, your future, might be hidden in your toes. Let's not forget what we've learned today. Discolored toenails may reveal fungus, failing circulation, or even silent cancer. Numbness and tingling could be your nerves quietly shutting down, putting your limbs at risk. Cold feet aren't just a chill. They could signal oxygen starvation and a failing heart. Swelling isn't harmless. It could be your body crying out from fluid overload or cardiac distress. Twisted toes and bunions steal your balance and double your fall risk. Weak foot muscles, the #1 predictor of sudden, life-changing falls. These are not small issues. They are early warning sirens. They come before the stroke, before the heart failure, before the accident. But here's what no one tells you. You still have control. You still have time. And your body is still listening. Right now, tonight, take a moment. Sit quietly. Look at your feet. Not with frustration, but with curiosity. What are they trying to say? Are your toenails telling you to cleanse? Are your cold toes begging for movement? Are your swollen ankles whispering, "Please, lift me up"? Start small. Just one change. Maybe it's toe scrunches while you watch TV. Maybe it's switching to shoes that don't crush your toes. Maybe it's finally calling the doctor about that numbness you've ignored. Don't aim to fix everything overnight. Aim to begin. Because beginning is everything. And please, don't keep this knowledge to yourself. In the comments, tell me where you're watching from and what foot or leg issue concerns you most. We're gifting 100 free copies of a best-selling natural health book to subscribers who comment. Why I want this book, and what's one thing I wish I'd known sooner about my body. If you found even one eye-opening moment in this video, hit the like button. Subscribe for weekly health wisdom made simple. Share this video with someone over 60 because you might just save their life without even realizing it. Your feet carry you through every day of your life. They remember every step, every fall, every rise. So now give them 5 minutes of your care, and they might just give you 5 more years of strength, freedom, and independence. Don't wait for the pain. Don't wait for the fall. Start listening today.